Welcome back. It is Thursday, June 27th in the MLB, and our four best bets are on the way. It's Austin joined by Logan. Unfortunately, not joined by the Broom today. Let's recap yesterday, a 1-2 day. We had Grayson Rodriguez under and earned runs. Sweaty, but he got the job done. Marlins and Royals over 9. The Royals did not feel like showing up until the 8th inning. Thanks for nothing. And then, our parlay of the day, we lost our first one in 7? We had a 6 straight until yesterday. Anthony Volpe goes 0 for 5. Had to wait out that rain delay just for him not to come through. Thought we had a chance in the 9th inning, but he did not get the job done. Oh well, a 1-2 day, turning our 9-0 run into a 10-2 run. We're still going to dive back into things today. We got 4 picks, including a 1.5 unit play, which I will talk about in just one moment. But as always, if you are new, my name is Austin. Do us a favor, go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's dive into today's picks. As always, it is a Monday through Friday, a business day. We're always doing our parlay of the day on Odds Checker. Remember to go check it out. It's top link in pinned comment and description. Like I said, we had hit 6 straight prior to yesterday. Painful, but we're going to come back here. It's a shorter slate than normal. We're still going to find our 2 favorite hitters, each to record a hit. Go check it out. I don't know what the record is on them this season. I want to say 37-26, so almost like a 60-something% hit rate. So very good. Go check it out. Top link and pinned comment in description. Should be live around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. But I'm going to segue that into my favorite pick of the day. It is a 1.5 unit play, partially because I love it the most, partially because it is a little bit juiced. Let's talk about it, and I'll talk about some pivots if maybe you can't bet this exact market. Because I'm going back to the scene of the crime where we had the Royals over yesterday. I'm not taking the over in this game. However, I am taking this pick. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Taking the Guardians and Royals, both teams to score 2 or more runs in the first 7 innings, -150 on BetMGM. I'm putting 1.5 units on here to try to eliminate that juice because it is -150. And if you've been watching us this season, I don't know if we've ever given out a -150 pick. And personally, I don't really lay a lot of juice because I don't think that's very profitable betting baseball, especially if you're doing money lines and things like that. However, I personally think this should be closer to -200. Now, if you're on BetMGM where the best value is, you go to, I believe it's the game tab or maybe the innings tab, and they typically have both teams to score 1, both teams to score 2, 3. Sometimes they have it to the first 3, the first 5. I'm going to first 7. If I'm being honest, I almost took the first 5, both teams to score 2 or more. That's about +140. I just think I know if I do that, there's going to be one team easily gets 2 runs. The other one gets 1 in the first 5. And then the 6th inning, they score immediately. I think both these 2 teams score 2 easily today. I wouldn't be surprised if this cashed in the first 5. If you're on DraftKings, this is -155. Is it a little bit juiced? Yes. But I really think this should not be -150-ish. I think this should be closer, like I said, to -200. And let's talk about why. Now, you're going to talk about Ben Lively, who will go for the Guardians today against the Royals. Now, Royals, if you backed them all of June, you've been down bad. But yesterday, I saw something in that 8th inning that really made me have confidence in them today. And I think they do pretty well today against Ben Lively, who, like I said, will start for the Guardians, 3.03 ERA and a 1.16 whip. He's been pretty good. His expected ERA is 3.73. Some regression is coming for him. And Lively, well, he doesn't need to pitch. He could go out there and pitch pretty well and still give up 2 earned runs, something he's done in 6 of his last 8 starts, including a couple home runs in his last few starts. And like I said, the Royals have not been good in June. I've been able to admit that. They sucked yesterday against Valiente Boyozo, wherever, making his MLB debut. But they finally figured out what they did in that 8th inning. Gave me some confidence here, and I think it gives the book some confidence. Heck, the Royals are barely underdogs. This is almost a pick-em in this game for Guardians team that has the best record in the MLB, if not the second best or whatnot. And we've seen the Royals not be good in June, but in that 8th inning, they cut back on their swing and they just started to put the ball in play. They started to put the ball opposite field and they really started to ring in some good at-bats. Was that against the Marlins bullpen? Sure, but that really gave me some confidence in them to be able to put up some runs today. Maybe they can carry that momentum against Ben Lively, and the books think so because his earned runs line is a -160 at 2.5. His hits allowed a juiced 5.5. I think they get 2 runs pretty easily on Ben Lively. If they have to get it against the Guardians bullpen, I won't love that. The fact that his earned runs line is -160 at 2.5, I think all we need is 2. We don't even need that to cash. I think they get the job done. Now, we need also the Guardians to put up 2 runs in the first 7 innings. They're going to get their open look against Michael Wacha, and hopefully they can do it against him. He has a 4.07 ERA and a 1.22 whip. Wacha did get injured at the end of May, returned back early on, I believe last Saturday, pitched pretty well, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run against the Rangers. Rangers offense has been anything but in sorts recently. Now he gets a Guardians team that's been red hot, especially all of June or really all year long. Now, you could say, Austin, didn't you just fade the Guardians? You took Ray Rod under 2.5 earned runs. And yes, he did cash that, but they still scored the 2 runs. And the reason I took Ray Rod was because he was tough on lefties. Now, I will note, The Guardians did me a favor by putting out arguably their B squad besides, Quan, Jimenez, Ramirez, and those guys. They put in some bad bats in there, which definitely helped us out. But I don't like Michael Wacha's matchup here. Gray Rod, really tough on lefties. Michael Wacha, not the same, allowing a 264 batting average to lefties this season. And that's allowing an OPS of 774 compared to just 603 to righties. Then Wacha, also 2 earned runs or more in 9 of his last 11 starts. The Royals bullpen, also a bottom 10 unit, a unit I'm not too scared of. Maybe Wacha goes out there, those 6 innings pitched, gives up 1 earned run. Or maybe he does 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run like he did against the Rangers. I still think we'll see some opportunities from this Guardians offense. All it takes is one swing of the bat. They got that Noel guy in there that guy looks like he's playing the wrong sport. He should be in the NFL. Look, I think the Guardians can put up 2 easily on Wacha. I think the Royals can put up 2 easily on a Lively. I think this could cash easily in the first few innings, first 5 innings at plus 140. I'm laying a little bit of juice, sure. Minus 150, I don't like doing that. I won't do a ton of them this season, but I really think this line is a little bit mispriced, like the full game over. Give me the Guardians or Royals, both teams to score 2+ in the first 7. But enough of me yapping around. Logan, I'm throwing it to you for your favorite pick of the day. You got an earlier start. Where are you going?
Yes, I love the jersey you got for us today because we're going to need some good vibes in this one. I'm taking Shota Imanaga of the Cubs over 17.5 outs. Minus 128 odds on FanDuel is your best value. Now, I see a lot of value in this line as I think it probably will close in the minus 140 range. So obviously, I like to get a little bit of CLV on my picks. If this one flips to like 16.5, well, then I know nothing apparently. But I really like this prop, and I am willing to get hurt in the outs market, which I've been hurt before earlier in the season. But look at this matchup, right? Shota was embarrassed by the Mets in his last start. Do we even need to talk about that? 3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 10 earned runs. Disgusting. That's the definition of batting practice. That was his worst start probably of the year. Hopefully it was his worst start of the year. But if you look at just like fuller game sample size, he was over this line in the prior 2 games, and he should give the Cubs some length today. Imanaga only has a 2.6 ERA on the road, 244 batting average allowed on the road. Those are numbers where I'm willing to take a shot on this guy. I think he's a really good pitcher. Is he immune to the bad outing every now and then? No, he's not. He is still human. He's not going to go out and pitch 7 innings scoreless every single start. He's also, what we do know about Shota is he's a fly ball pitcher, and that doesn't always work in Wrigley Field. A ballpark that day to day can change, just depending on where the wind is blowing. We're in San Francisco, where it is a pitcher friendly ballpark, and I think a fly ball pitcher like Shota Imanaga will have okay success here. Hitters are still only hitting 194 off Shota's fly balls, which is his highest count for hit trajectory. Meaning, if you look at ground balls, line outs, fly ball outs, his highest is still going to be his fly balls because that's the type of pitcher he is. And I think it works actually okay in San Francisco today. If you've ever watched any Giants games, there's some dimensions in that ballpark that are like huge, where the outfielder's just like out there, in an empty void space, which again gives you plenty of opportunities to play the fly ball outs and get some outs that way. Cubs also, worth noting, they just used the bullpen game with Hayden Wesneski being their bullpen guy, and then they did bring in Keegan Thompson later into that game. Now the question is do they just leave Shota out there and say, hey, get us sick because we kind of need it, where our bullpen is already in shambles? I think they do more of that strategy today. I think when you look at this one, Shota just on his matchup, he was able to get the 6 innings pitch that we need. The last lefty to face the Giants was Justin Steele twice. In both starts, he cashed his prop going 6 2/3 innings pitched and 7 1/3 innings pitched. I really do like this one. I think Shota's outs. I think this one's a little bit mispriced. I think it should be a lot more juiced, almost to an unplayable number. I like the 6 innings pitch needed for Shota. Shota, go get it done. Go bounce back in a big way for us today. But Austin, you got another pick. Where are you going?
Yeah, like you said, Logan, I'm rocking my Shota Imanaga jersey. No, it's not Ian Happ. Don't look at the back. I promise it's a Shota jersey. Hopefully he can get the job done. And I like that one. The Giants have been really tough on lefties, but then in June, but you also like the lefties they've been facing. They've not been great competition. Hopefully Shota can dial it back in after last start. Now our last pick of the day, 4th and final one, will be another player prop. It's going to be in a market we haven't touched this year. It's going to be Jack Flaherty of the Detroit Tigers, under 1.5 walks allowed, minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, FanDuel, if you're betting baseball only on FanDuel, I encourage you to get more books because FanDuel does not offer a lot of different markets. They don't offer the both to score 2 or 3 runs in the first 5 or 7. They don't offer the walks allowed market. They also don't allow hits, runs, and RBIs. They don't allow first 5 team totals. There's a lot of different markets they don't allow, which is why I always caution people to, if they're only betting on FanDuel, at least look at getting a different book because this is on a lot of different books. DraftKings, you got Bet365, you got Caesars, BetMGM didn't have a line as I was posting this. I imagine they will have one by first pitch. Now let's talk about why I like Flaherty to go under 1.5 walks. Could be sweaty, but I don't think he gives up 2 walks today. And hopefully the umpire is pretty pitcher friendly because sometimes this can come down to how the umps call in the game. But even if it doesn't, I still think Flaherty can hold things down. Now, he is pitching on the road in Anaheim, taking on the Angels. But you look at Flaherty this year, 2.92 ERA and a 0.97 whip. He's been really good, even better on the road, where he has a 2.17 ERA and a 194 batting average allowed. Now, obviously, Flaherty could go out there and he could suck today, but he could still not give up 2 earned runs. And hopefully, if he wants to do that, we'll certainly allow it. The last time he pitched against the Angels, he went 2 1/3, gave up 10 earned runs, only 1 walk. Now, obviously, that was last year, I believe, with the Cardinals. They had Ohtani and all those guys. Their line was obviously much different. But Flaherty, more importantly, we need under 1.5 walks. And this season, 45 2/3 innings pitched on the road, 6 total walks. On the year, only 13 walks and 308 at bats. This is a guy that's been dialed in and not walking guys. This season, 14 games started. He's gone under this line in 11 of 14. He has allowed 2 walks in 3 games. So I think this guy's just been super dialed in. He's 95th percentile walk percentage. He throws strikes. He's going to make you hit the baseball. And he's coming off a start. He did have 2 walks against the White Sox. And the Angels are a team that walks more than the White Sox, but they also don't have a guy like Luis Robert Jr., who obviously Jack Flaherty did walk in that last game in the first inning. His next walk, I don't think, came until the 5th or 6th. Hopefully, he can get out the first few innings without walking anyone. And this is an Angels team that doesn't walk a ton. They're kind of middle of the pack. They have faced some very walk-happy guys, like Mazur, the guy that pitches for the Padres. That guy loves walking players. He had like 4 walks when he faced the Angels. But this is Jack Flaherty, guy that throws it in the zone. It's going to force the Angels to hit the ball. Like I said, it is a little subjective. We're going to need the umpire to be on our side here. But Jack Flaherty's been doing this all season long. I'll take a hit rate at 11 of 14, and I'll take my chances here for a guy that's been pitching really well. Tigers are a huge favorite, so I think he pitches well as well. And I just think he's going to be pretty locked in today. He's been locked in on the road, and I think he's just going to continue to throw strikes, and hopefully he can avoid giving up some walks here. And I don't think the Angels are going to be looking to take walks because they know Flaherty's a guy that pounds the zone. Also really good at getting the strikeouts too, which obviously will help our way too. So I really like this prop, under 1.5 walks for Mr. Jack Flaherty. Those are our 4 favorite picks of the day. Logan, I'm going to throw it to you for a second. Did you have anything else that you might have looked at? I know it's a shorter slate. It is a Thursday slate. Is there anything other games that you might have taken a peek at?
Ooh, I won't lie to you guys. This is probably my least favorite slate in a while. For several hours almost, I was looking at the slate, just like trying to find a pick. I mean, I kind of leaned towards a really good Jordan Montgomery game. I just wasn't really sure how to back Jordan Montgomery today because the Twins are one of those teams. They're hot when they're hot and they're not when they're not. I think Jordan Montgomery cools them down a little bit today, so I wasn't quite sure how to back them. This is a really tricky slate. Again, that's why you see me picking a player prop. I don't normally pick player props. Those are like my last market I look in, but I do like our picks today, and I think we're going to bounce back in a big way today.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was a couple other props I did look at. Aaron Judge to record a walk and Bryce Harper to record a walk were 2 that I did look at. Both have walked a good amount versus their respective pitches. Teams are starting to walk. Obviously, Judge a little bit more. Soto does his walks. He does what he wants. But Judge has been getting walked a lot more, especially with J.D. Davis right behind him. And then Verdugo, both 2 guys that have not – well, Verdugo's really been poor over the past 2 weeks or so. So I like both of those, but I'm just not going to force a ton of different walks. I already got a walks prop in here. I don't need to give you a full walks card. So just to recap our favorite picks of the day, we have Jack Flaherty of the Tigers under 1.5 walks. We have Logan's favorite pick, which is Shota Imanaga in an early-ish start out in San Fran, over and outs. We have both teams to score 2+ runs in the first 7 innings in the Guardians and Royals game. That is a 1.5 unit play as opposed to 1 unit for the first 2 I just talked about. Our final play, which I will link on the screen. Parlay of the day, trying to bounce back after yesterday's just horrendous beat with Mr. Volpe, who had a hit robbed on his first at bat. He was like this close from getting the infield single. It was a terrific play by the third baseman. We're going to bounce back. I'll link it on the screen. Should be live around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If it isn't linked on the screen, go down below, hit the pin comment in the description. Those are 4 favorite picks of the day. Let's have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys back on Friday with some more. Peace.